Well, some Republicans are expected to bring forward a resolution that would empower the interim Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry to have some powers to, well, keep the House moving. As Speaker nominee Jim Jordan continues to struggle, flipping colleagues of his own that won't vote for him. He's down 22 votes. He needs 17 more to get across the threshold. Jordan has backed the resolution to empower McHenry, but not all Republicans are on board with that either. In fact, I'm getting word now that it might be just dead in the water. Democrats will likely need to vote for the resolution for it to pass, and some say McHenry's voting record, which includes raising the debt ceiling and certifying the 2020 election results, will make it easier for Democrats to grant him the power to move certain legislation forward. But I wouldn't put my money on that horse either. Joining me live from the Capitol, Real America's Voice correspondent Ben Bergquam. I'll put my money on this horse to tell us what's going on. Ben, how are you?
Hey, Steve, I'm doing well. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I know about as much as you. Basically, it's just anybody's guess at this point. It's kind of a crapshoot. So I've spoken to several different representatives, and they're they want Jordan, but you've got the holdouts. You're not sure if these guys will come across. Some of the holdouts just want something. You look at the guys from New York. It sounds like they just want something, so you may be able to pull them over to your side. But you almost get the feeling that Jordan doesn't really want it. I mean, you don't really hear him out there. The fact that McCarthy's the guy coming out doing press conference on it, it's a mess. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm getting some inside baseball here from a congressman's office who shall remain nameless, but I'm being told that whole idea of McHenry getting some power to move things forward, dead in the water as of right now. That's what they're saying from inside those closed rooms. So that's dead in the water. Jim Jordan doesn't look like he can sway the 17 or 18 votes he needs to get to 217. So where are we? I mean, here we are. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. It's just like herding cats, only worse, Ben.
Yeah, definitely. The representatives I've spoken to, the McHenry idea is not a good idea. Basically, you're just giving the agenda to the Democrats. So you'd be having Democrats side with Rhino Republicans to get this guy in there if it were to happen. So that's not a good option. So, and basically all you're doing is increasing the debt, pushing forward on the budget. All of the agenda of the Democrats, more money to Ukraine, all of this stuff is all you would be passing. So in some sense, not having Congress run right now, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the best thing. Maybe a little chaos and not having these guys push more money to countries while we secure their borders instead of securing our own. I don't know. But, yeah, it's definitely no,
I see your point.
It's a unique place.
But there was something mentioned,
place to be.
Yeah, just a moment ago from the Heritage Foundation, Lori Reese said if they try to resettle Gazans in America, for example, they being the Biden administration, you could block it in Congress, but you can't block it if you don't have a Speaker of the House. You can't, an executive order, and they just say, hey, it's legal, the president said so, and you don't have any last line of defense. That would be my concern in that conversation. I don't know all the ins and outs and intricacies of how that would work, but, they pull these end runs all the time. So, we've got the authority to do this and that and 100 other things that they don't have the authority to do under the United States Constitution. So that concerns me, and I think it's time that we get a speaker. And I don't know what the objection is to Jim Jordan, but apparently he's ruffled some feathers. But they don't have a plan B at this point. That's what concerns me. I don't hear any other names coming up that are, going to get over the threshold because the so-called moderates, rhinos on one side, won't vote for Jim Jordan. The conservatives won't vote for a moderate or a rhino on the other side. So you've got this impasse, right?
Yeah, that's basically, you look at the left, the Democrats, they all march in unison. They duck step together. They circle the wagons. Republicans tend to circle the firing squads. And so it's an Achilles heel, but, it's a double-edged sword at the same time. There's some strength in that we don't all think the same and act the same, and we're not homogenous in that sense. There's really more diversity of thought on the conservative side. But you're right. This is, and back to your point, though. Actually, let me just touch on the border for a second. It doesn't matter what Congress does. Joe Biden, Secretary Mayorkas, these guys don't care about our Constitution. They don't care about the rule of law. And they could get everyone from Gaza to go down to our southern border and simply walk in. They're letting them all in. I mean, the perfect example of why you don't want Palestinians coming into America is Rashida Tlaib, who openly supports Hamas. This is somebody in Congress who openly supports Hamas. This is, that's
and
the
she's
problem.
Not the only one.
So I don't. She's not the only one. So really, we have much bigger issues in America that we're fighting. But you're right. I mean, the fact that we can't come together on this, at least for a guy like Jim Jordan, it's disappointing that there isn't a plan
time.
B or C or.
Yeah. Agreed. Ben, we'll keep it right there. We'll be getting back to you throughout the day here on Real America's Voice. Ben Bergquam there at the Capitol. Ben, as always, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Everyone knows the next medical crisis could be around the corner, too. What a bonus, whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something more mundane like an insect bite. You and your family need to be prepared. That's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know, the Wellness Company. They have great doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough. He comes on this program. You know that. The Wellness Company and its doctors are medical professionals that you can trust. And their new medical emergency kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. They are. Be ready for anything. This medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and the Z-Pack. The medical emergency kit provides a guidebook to aid in the safe use of all of these life-saving medications. Rest assured, knowing that you have the emergency antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics on hand to help keep you and your family safe from whatever the globalists throw at us next. Go to twc.health/voice today. twc.health/voice today and place your order. That's twc.health/voice. Use the promo code VOICE. You'll save 10%. It's well worth it. Coming up after the break, why is there so much confusion when it comes to the history of the nation of Israel? We're going to sort it out with our good friend Lucas Miles after the break on AVL.